Tammy and Bert's Utopia. How lovely to see you again. I've got 53 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. It makes this silly old duck very happy. Thank you so much. Mwah. I hope I can help you with my mental health journey, because it truly is a journey, isn't it? It's something that we walk along every single day, and we have to take the good days and the bad days. Some days are worse than others, and some days are better than others. So today I want to talk about people pleasing. Oh my stars, people pleasing. It's another word for being a liar. It's not a nice thing to be a people pleaser, because you're not honest. You're not honest with yourself, you're not honest with anybody. You just agree with everybody. You don't say your own opinions because you're too frightened that you will be rejected if you are. So therefore you're the person that gives lots of love and lots of praise, and you're not the person that gives negativity. When I say that, I not give my negativity. One of my daughters would disagree with that. But what I mean is that I would no sooner tell my children that they don't look nice as the jump on the moon. Because who knows how they've felt when they've got out of bed that morning. You cannot judge. When they were little, yeah, sure enough, that was a different thing because you're teaching them. But when they're adults, it's totally different. One moment, Lucy wants to come up. Lucy, come here, darling. Mummy pick you up. Come on, Mummy pick you up. Lucy, come here. Come here. You'll have to excuse her. She hasn't got her collar on yet. But she does like to sit on my lap, and she does comfort me because, as you know, my pets bring me great comfort. So being a people pleaser means that you always agree. And it's exhausting because sometimes I'll agree to something, and at the same time I'm agreeing, I'm going in my mind, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But I'll have to do it because, yeah, otherwise they'll get upset with me if I don't do it. So this year I've been trying not to be a people pleaser as much, but it's very hard because when I was a child, we had to be very careful with my mum and dad. My dad was away working 3 jobs, so he couldn't be with mum, and mum had serious mental health problems and was left with 3 little children to deal with, living out in the bush with no running water and no toilets, and just total primitive. Our toilet was up on the top of a hill. It was a can in a little wooden shed that Debbie and I would go and empty to try and make mum and dad happy. That is the length we would go to be people pleasing. You know, empty the dunny so dad didn't have to do it when he got home so he wouldn't lose it. And mum dealt with us by locking us outside all day and playing music because we were homeschooled for a period of time. And I remember clearly running away because I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take the pressure of the homeschooling and mum losing it and getting so upset with us continually because we weren't up to the standard that she wanted us to be up to. So people pleasing is something that I've grown used to my entire life. As far back as I can remember, I've always been people pleasing. So how do you stop that? Oh my goodness. It is, well, I have to say it, it's now I'm 63 and it's impossible to stop it. I still do it. Although what I have found I do, I withdraw myself from situations so things don't arise. We don't have many friends, Bert and I. That's why YouTube's such a big importance to me, because I very rarely leave the house. I live behind this lovely big fence that Bert has built me in our lovely area down here in beautiful sunny Sebastopol. And, you know, that's it, go out for groceries and what have you, but we've never been ones to go to restaurants or go out for meals. Our home is our life, and that's why we put all of our energy into our homes. We've always done that. But to be a people pleaser, you have to agree to go out to things. We get invitations. Tam, Bert, do you want to come and do this with us? Oh, no thanks, no. I'm practicing no, and it's really hard to do because the anxiety that comes to me if we go out to have something somewhere can be just crippling, and anybody with anxiety understands that. You feel like the whole world is watching you, and at the same time, well, I've got at the moment it's hot pink hair, or so of course people are watching me. The nicest thing I get when people watch me is the children. They love me. They absolutely love my pink hair. And I remember that was the first time I did it was for Kai and Paige. And they were, I think Kai was in prep, and I did it for her. It was the very first time. So she's going into high school next year, so that's a long time ago. So even back then I was people pleasing my granddaughter. Nanny, I think you'd look fantastic with pink hair and a blue stripe in it, just like the girl out of the Lego movie. You think so, Kai? Well, let's see what I can do. Well, I couldn't get the blue stripe, but I did get the pink. So as you see, I'm a true people pleaser. Although I'm coming to grips to not try to do that as much. Although I still can't. Because I will always turn up on the job with food for the boys, 9 out of 10 times, just so they're not going to growl at me the minute I turn up. You know, usually they're happy to see you. Oh, Mum's got some chocolate, Mum's got a cake, Mum's got donuts. Do you know what I mean? People pleasing. But it's also because you want them to love you, because people pleasing is stemmed back to wanting to be loved. And that's where it comes from. So you have to really love yourself to be able to love everybody else. And it's hard to love yourself. How do you accept somebody that is always just trying to make other people happy? It's very hard. I remember when the children were at school and I was everywhere with the mums. Oh, do you want to join this one? Do you want to join that one? And, oh yes, I'll do that. And then for the whole month I'd be panicking about going to the parents club, and then I'd get there and, oh, you had to bring a slice. Okay, well, I can't just take any slice. What's the most difficult slice I know that I can take to wow them all with my creativity? So just pulled the stress on because I was trying to be a people pleaser. And all I can say to you, if you're also like that, if you just agree with everybody, it's really hard to stop it when you've got into the habit of it, because your first initiative is to always think of the other person, what they are feeling and what they are thinking, and therefore you don't want them to think badly of you, so you will agree with whatever they want. My sister and brother-in-law, they travel around in this beautiful motorhome, and Bert and I say, oh, wouldn't that be lovely? But truth be known, we're not a motorhome kind of people. If we go somewhere, I'd rather be in a motel and be stable, because I get motion sickness, something shocking. Because when we travelled Australia in the back of the car, I was sick from Tasmania to Darwin to West Australia to Queensland to Townsville. All over, I was car sick. And it's horrible. I hate being in the back of a car. I can only sit in the front. And so therefore for me travelling in a motorhome, I couldn't do that. And while I admire what they do, it's not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is driving somewhere for 2 or 3 hours like my friends Anna Marie and Todd are doing, and then booking in somewhere when you can, staying there for a few hours and then heading off again. Because what life I think about is the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about getting there. And so I've diversed a bit off people pleasing, but in the same way you can see, because I always say to my sister-in-law, Maria and Tony, hello darlings, oh my God, you're so lucky, we envy you, we would love to have a camper van, oh my God. But really guys, it's not really our cup of tea, but I love that you can do it. And I love that people get caravans and they go away and they sit outside in the cold around a fire and it looks lovely. But that's not my cup of tea. And to people please and say that isn't really being correct, because Bert's and my ideal of a perfect evening is watching television, and I'll knit with our puppy dogs, and we're warm in our house with the central heating and very comfortable at home with a nice cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee, and that's our perfect evening. We're not people to go out to places, we just aren't. So I'd be interested to know, do you people please? Are you a people pleaser? And do remember that it always stems from trauma. Mine is clearly goes back to the trauma of my childhood, and with Mum being so volatile. And Dad just working as much as he could away from her so he didn't have to deal with it. And look at the age I am, and I've still got that trauma. And all my life I've been the same. Always yes, just whatever other people wanted to do, I'd go along with. For instance, Bert's family used to have really, really big parties because they're Dutch. And back in the day, you know, like the 25th wedding anniversary, it was huge. And him turning 70, oh, he sees Abraham. It's a big thing. And they'd have all the family and everything around. And I used to find it so stressful, because afterwards all you would hear about is them picking the people to pieces that came to visit. And I thought, well, I'm one of them. They will be talking about me the same as they're talking about them. So I just agreed with them. Oh, yes, that's true. Oh, no, did that happen? Oh, really? The things you have to put up with? You know, just making it about them. And yeah, that's all people pleasing. So in a way, I'm very grateful we don't have to do those things again. So how do you people please? Talk to the girls on the checkout. Hello, darlings, how's your day going? Oh, poppets, what time do you knock off? 3, 9, what time's your shift finish? Do you know what I mean? I just always think of them because people that work in supermarkets and that, it's a long day on your feet. And I admire what they do, because where would we be without them? Because they would have to be people pleasers, because the amount of nasty people they would get through in a day, they would just have to agree with everybody and just switch off. So yes, people pleasing. Please leave me a comment as to whether you're a people pleaser, and if so, can you stem it back to your childhood? Because childhood really does play a big part, and you don't realise until you're an adult, grown, and basically my children are, you know, they're all adults now, that I realised how much I was mucked up through their childhood. And I wish I could change that, but I can't go back. We did the best we could at the time with what we had and the knowledge we had. So anyway, the rest of my week has been pretty ordinary, although tomorrow I'm going out for lunch with Bert. We're going out to a lovely little cafe in Creswick with my brother-in-law Alan, because it's his 45th wedding anniversary tomorrow. 1st of June 1977 they got married. And it's just, you know, it's just a big occasion, too big a date to go without doing something. So we're off out for lunch. Now that's a wonderful thing to do, and I won't be stressed because I'm with Alan, who knows us very well and has known me since I'm 16. So I mean, that's forever, isn't it? So darlings, I had a bit of drama with Millie. Millie's been to the vet this week. She had her needles and all of her little things she has to have as being a puppy dog, but he told me that she's got Cushing's disease now. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but as she's over 15, I just look at every day as a blessing, and I just love it a bit and don't want to think about that eventual day, so I won't. It's as dull as dishwater here in Ballarat today, darlings. Oh my goodness, it's grey skies, and I'm just so glad I've got my beautiful little things out in the garden. You know, they make me happy just looking at them moving around in the breeze. It's just lovely. My dear friend Anna Marie, hello darling. She always comments. Well, her and her husband are up in the middle of New South Wales at the moment, up there around Sydney somewhere, and they're enjoying their lovely holiday up there as they go back to the Central Coast. They missed it through lockdown, they couldn't go, and they missed all their friends, and she has got a lot of friends because she's a lovely lady. And he's a lovely man, and we love them very much. And happy birthday, Todd, because today I know is your birthday, so 21 again. Yes, cheers to you. Well, cup of tea to you, darling. So let me know if I've helped you in any way, and if you can relate to what I've talked about, and if you've got any suggestions for how to overcome it, because I'm still trying to stop being a people pleaser. And quite often I'll edit these videos and I will cut out all the parts that I think people might get upset by, and I'm going to try not to do that this time, because I've done that so often. I have to realise that my channel is about helping lots of people, so not just my family and my family members. So, and I have to say that if anybody out there is a people pleaser, you're not the only one. It's a part of mental health, and it's a part of trying to get people to love you and accept you, because mental health issues can step back to wanting to be loved by your parents and trying to seek their approval when you were younger. And I know that's where it comes from for mine, from my trauma. You know, I'm the one that's got the bruises, I think. But anyway, wherever you are in the world, darlings, I want to wish you a lovely day or a lovely night. Sleep well, stay happy. Remember that every day is a gift. We can only live in the today. We haven't got tomorrow. And so therefore, try and keep happy and try and be kind to yourself and look after yourself, because without you, everything falls down. You're the glue that holds it together. Lots and lots of love from beautiful Ballarat, darling, from both of us. Bye. How was that, Lucy? Did you think that was okay? Did you think that was okay? Do you think people are like that? Or do you think they might think, oh my goodness?